Hey, good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Hey, Monroe Smith, thank you for joining Sunshine Shoulders live stream. I really appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to answer your questions. Um, what's going on, MV4463? That's my homeboy from Louisville, Kentucky. Retired 2019. Slant Ron, or is that Slink Ron? He said, pouring here in Shatton. I used to like going to that marketplace in Shatton. I stayed in Zamboanguita, Ron. Hey, Tangina Mo from Alameda, California. James Lyons, what's up? Hey, Levon Wright. Thanks for joining me, man. Carmen, hey, what's going on? Brasilero Shelton. I think your name is Larry Shelton. What's up, man? Don't make me roll after it. Hey, what's up, Timothy Bright? Smoky Mountain Modeler. Yeah, I got some good news today. You know how I was telling y'all that about every 6 months I blow my top because, you hold in a lot of the stuff that normally would drive you crazy, but over here you learn to hold it in. But about every 6 months you blow your top. I was getting ready to do that, and then I got something in the mail, but I'm going to wait till a few people get on here before I show you what it is. Hey, what's up, Ingram Davis, Cal Deadman? I see that the NTZ is in the house. Yeah, about every 6 months, you're going to blow your top over here from holding everything in. But today, what's going on, Chriselle? Robert Sanford, you feeling better, man? Remember, guys, if y'all want any of that Sunshine Shoulders authentic merch, go over to that store, my Teespring store. I'm in the process of designing some more stuff. That was just a basic design. I really liked it. I know a lot of my viewers are older, so the other stuff I'm just designing now. It'll be on there. Dwight Franklin, what's up? Okay, we got some people on here. So today, hey, Angie, what's going on? Lynn, San Diego 102 in the house. I want to show y'all something. About every 6 months, I'm about to blow my top. And I thought my 6 months was up today. And I get this package in the mail. I'm not expecting anything. It's just a little package, and it's soft, and it's from the United States. It was shipped February the 24th. Imagine that. I just got it today. I paid the $120 customs fee. And it was from Jack Ford in Miami, Florida. Let me show you what he sent me, man. And I tell y'all that I've got the best subscribers in all of YouTube, and y'all don't believe me. He sends me this shirt by Under Armour of all. A nice shirt, man. Under Armour, a Superman shirt. My size. Look at that. The spongy kind that I love. I can run in this, ride my bike in it. But this was only the beginning, man, that he sent me. He sent me a note along with it. Now, remember what was going on in February, right? He says this. He says, hi, Calvin. I'm sending you this shirt because, and this is what I'm reading from, guys. You don't believe me. He says, hi, Calvin. I'm sending you this shirt because I imagine it represents who baby Denise and Donna must see every time you make the trip down that narrow tunnel to their home. Your good deeds are an inspiration to us all. Best of luck to you and your family. Jack from Miami. Then there's a quote at the bottom. It said, kindness is giving hope to those who think they are all alone in the world. Ractivists. This is powerful, man. Now, what he did was he refreshed my 6 months and started it all over again. Now I can go a whole other 6 months without blowing my top, man. Thank you, Jack. But those are the type of subscribers that I got, man. And when you get messages like this, man, it makes you keep going. Despite the hate, despite the trolls and all that negativity, when you get stuff like this, you say, man, it's worth it. You want to go out and do another live stream or another video. But thank you, Jack, again, man. It's a nice shirt. Quality shirt. Yeah, Lynn, San Diego 102, she said we all do need our cups filled when we are running low. And, you know, it's free when people do stuff like that. You know, give you a compliment, be a listening ear. But I want to, you know, I don't want to sound so mainstream media when you say that your thoughts go out to the Filipinos that are being affected by this new typhoon. It's Bissing up in Bicol, the Bicol region, and then they're also being affected in northern Cebu and also the eastern Visayas region. What's going on, Rod Yates? I see you. Hey, man, what's going on? He said, what size shirt do you wear? I wear an extra large in U.S. sizes. Believe it or not, I wear a 3X over here in the Philippines in everything. What's going on, Ron Bizzle? Good evening. Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Y'all know it helps me. But yeah, that typhoon it's hit land here in the Philippines. And that has affected a lot of people. I think 100,000 people in Bicol, the Bicol, had to evacuate. Chris L says, trolls still count as views. That makes you more known. Yeah, you're right. Rod Yates said, Calvin, one question is there any other brothers living in San Carlos that you've seen? I saw one, but I haven't seen him again. But I did meet a brother the other day at the grocery store, but he lives in Calatrava. It's about maybe 15 kilometers from here. And him and his wife was here all day Saturday because I guess they come here once a week, every 2 weeks. Carmen says, kindness cannot be bought or sold. It's really coming from your soul. It is. It is free, really. You know, I wish, you know, there was more kindness. You know, there was a great article here in the Manila Times, which is one of my favorite. I don't really read the whole Manila Times. I read the opinion. They got some great columnists here. And the lady sent a call out and said we needed more Good Samaritans in the Philippines in this hour, man. And it was a powerful article. You know, she was saying with all the rich and elite and powerful people here, they could wipe out a lot of the suffering that's going on in the pandemic right now. And it's true. But of course, I don't know what the human thinking is. I guess it's a survival technique that we're so selfish, I guess. Billy, what's going on? He says, have you been to Jensen? And I love it. Yes, I have. I've actually got a picture on my phone in Jensen. I'm sitting in front of the statue of the man who the town was named after, right in the square. Ann G says San Carlos City is usually spared from the devastating calamities. Always thankful to the Lord. Yeah, I'm glad. But I tell you what, when I found out where these typhoons and bad weather generally hit in the Philippines, I made sure that's why I don't go in Luzon. Not that I don't like it, or I've been to Tacloban, I've been to Orma Lady, I've been to Bilaran, which is close to Samar, but I won't stay there for any particular period of time. Lynn San Diego 102 said, I like your new profile pic, Calvin. Was that in the States? Yeah, I was on my porch doing one of my breaks from that rat race over there, Lynn. You know, see, I work a lot of insurance agents around the country. They don't wear suit and tie anymore. It's like a casual. But me, I wear a suit every single day to be different, number one, but because I deal with most of my clients are seniors, and they come from that era where they're used to seeing people in the community like insurance men, preachers, doctors, that sort of thing, in suits. And remember, I'm a black man in the state of Kentucky. There's places there that I'm not welcome. I better show up in a suit and tie. I better look like I'm somebody important, or they're not going to open the door. This is real life United States. I'm sorry. I don't bring race on her, but she asked me. Yeah, that's on my porch. And I had to do that. Remember, there people, they impersonating my account. So I had to take that beautiful picture of me on Panglao Beach. Well, that's Alona Beach in Panglao, Bahal. I had to take that down. That's one of my favorite pictures, man. She said, Lynn said, you look Gucci there. I tell you, I spent a lot of money on my suits, but I only had 7 suits, believe it or not. Because remember, before I came over here, I had, when that picture was taken, I had 6 kids. And my mother always told us, you got to buy quality stuff. It's that way you only have to buy it one time. But I only got 7 suits. I can't afford, I'd rather have 7 quality suits than 15, from House of Adams or GQ. And anybody from Louisville, Kentucky knows those places. Those are those Chinese shops that they have over there. Philippines, my paradise. What's going on, Ned? He said, thanks very much for another great live stream. Let me get down here to some of y'all's questions. Gary T, I think he's out in California. Are you in San Francisco, Gary? He said, just what are some of the tips and tricks for traveling to the Philippines? We hit on this a little bit. Fly right into Cebu if you're coming to the Visayas or Mindanao area. And the reason I say it, even though your ticket's going to cost cheaper when you fly into Manila, you're still going to have to fly commercial from Manila. Ugma. No, wait. Sorry, guys. Hold on to my water. Hun, bring the water. Hold on, everybody. They're too big. Bring it. There. They're too big. Yeah, that's how you say water in Visayas. Too big. Not my shirt is too big for me. Yeah, they deliver the water, man. It's good water too. See, and when you guys get over here, don't drink the tap water, but the water filtering places, yeah, it's good. And then of course the bottled water. Let's see. Yeah, Monroe Smith says, yes, Calvin, it was a guy acting like he was you on those other channels, like the Geo channel, for example, but Geo caught on to him. Yeah, it's true. Angie said, Calvin, you're so cute, too big. Yeah, too big is water. Well, you know that, Angie. Adam Chenoweth said a lot of places might not open travel until 2022. You're right. But yeah, back to what I was saying about flying into Manila, you're still going to have to buy that ticket to fly into Davao and to Cebu or whatever. Go ahead and fly into Cebu. Or if you're going to Davao, they got direct flights now to Davao from what I heard. Because they've got an international airport there. But that's just like a trick I learned a long time ago because I used to buy my ticket into Manila because it was cheaper. But then when you add that other money on there that you're buying to fly into Cebu, you might as well just fly into Cebu. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, JH, he says NC in the nitty gritty house. Good to see you, JH. I think are you Kratos on my Facebook? I think you are. Oh, okay, Angie. She says, I'm a native from San Carlos. Well, you can bear witness. This is a nice place. And I always forget the next video I make, which actually I'm going to show you. I'm going to pan around that whole center mall area. Guys, you're not going to believe this place. You'll be shocked. You'll be like, is this the Philippines? Yes, the Philippines. But my next video is learning to say no in the Philippines is a key to your success here. Why yes men fail. See, yes men fail here. And I'm not going to go into any detail. I'm going to let you watch it. But see, Filipinos, they're used to hearing no. It's yes that drives them crazy, that makes them become somebody else and makes them do things that they normally wouldn't do. See, it's yes. Sort of opposite of what's going on in America. I'll keep it on America. When you hear no over there, it makes people go crazy. But yes makes people go crazy over here. So learn to say no over here, man. I'm going to tell you. And I'm talking about to your girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whoever it is. That's what I'm talking about. Because once you spoil them with that yes, why do you think they call it spoiled? It's no good anymore. I did that twice, guys. I'm doing it again. I'm making the same mistake. It's only a matter of time, man. Your relationship goes like that. I hope it don't happen here, but she's spoiled already. Hey, Luis Pizarro, thanks for that super chat. He said, I just got here. I just wonder if you've been in Zamboanga area. Absolutely, Luis. I lived there for many years. My son is there now, and as soon as it opens up, I'm going to go get him and bring him here with me. But yeah, I love Zamboanga. I've got a video on my channel, and if you email me or message me on my Facebook, I'll send you the link. And it kind of gets rid of a lot of myths about Zamboanga. Yes, Zamboanga has a reputation because they've had some skirmishes there, but they haven't had one since 2013. It's a lot of military there. It's a lot of police there. You're safe. They just got the first SM mall last year. They just had their KCC's been there for about 5 years. It's really a nice place. The people are super nice. What I don't like about it, though, is kind of away from everything. I mean, it's so far away from everything. Like, it's like 8-hour bus ride from DePola. You have to ride the 2-go if you want to go to places like Davao or General Santos, even though it's right there in southern Mindanao. It's kind of far, but other than that, yeah, I've been to Zamboanga. It's really nice. Hey, good day, Philip Cooper up there in Luzon. Hope you're staying safe. I don't know if that typhoon is affecting you up there. Hey, Ennis Montgomery, thanks for that super chat. He says, hey, big brother Calvin, congratulations on the land purchase. I'll make my reservations now. Use this to purchase some blocks. We owe you a big debt for all the information. Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. And remember, guys, my budget is going to include that Sunshine Shoulders guest house right behind my house. And it's open anytime to any of my subscribers, free of charge. But give me an advance notice that you're coming. And I'll probably set a limit of about a week just so other people can stay there. But it's going to be nice. I'm not going to cheap it on y'all when you come over here. That way you won't have to worry about an Airbnb or a hotel. You're going to have basically a hotel room on my compound, man. And, you're going to have cable, air, your own CR. I'm not going to spare any expense. It's going to be nice. So thank you guys, man. Thank you, Ennis. But that's the least I can do, man, really, because now they've got 2 nice hotels here. They've got the Maria Awani Hotel, which is my favorite. And then they got the Palau Hotel, which was my favorite until I went to the Maria Awani, because the Palau has the gym in the basement. I mean, on the first floor. Listen to this, guys. 25 pesos a day for a modern gym. Add that up. Or you can buy the membership for 400 pesos a year. Yeah. Eric Terry said, I need a month or two. We're just trying to be fair, Eric. You know about being fair as a college professor. Hey, Brazilero Shelton, he said, Cal, it's nice to be able to hang out with you free of charge, but do you think there's such a smart way to go? Yeah, it is, because it is not all about money. Really, your company here and making sure you're safe and having a good time, man, really, that's sort of a compensation for me. really, Brasilero Shelton. You know, you got to understand, man, that's part of my budget putting that there. So it's not going to cost me anything extra. It's just that I just want to do something that nobody else does. It's all about being hospitable. It's all about being sunshine shoulders, man. You know, helping other people, you help yourself, man. You know, that's the least I can do. Sam Champion says, way to go, Calvin, with the American hospitality. Absolutely, man. You know, and believe it or not, man, I'm borrowing it also from the Filipino hospitality. They roll out the brightest red carpet for you here when you get here. You know, that's just how it is. And then to people who are hitting me up on this, my last video about about us being invisible over here. Listen, guys, we're invisible over here. We're not that important. Okay. And I'm going to give you a great example of this. In 2019, the last year that they have on the State Department, you don't believe me, go to State Department. Over 1 million Americans visited the Philippines. 2 homicides. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. The city of Louisville, Kentucky is about 1 million people. 2020, almost 200 homicides. If you were to have those numbers in a million, in a city with 1 million people, and you were the police chief, not only would you be elected mayor, but probably state senator, U.S. representative, congressman, and then the president of the United States. It's safe over here, guys. We're invisible here. Trust me. If we were not, man, it'd be more than 2 murders. Now, 2018 was a little more. I think it was 10. But it's still over 1 million people. Hey, you know, if y'all want to nitpick, go ahead. But I'm just telling you. Hey, Ron Bizzle, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Calvin, do you remember Jeffrey Osborne? Do I? I was listening to him Sunday, 67, 80s, wonderful time in music. He's one of my favorite artists, Ron Bizzle. Listen to this, and you're not going to believe it. 1979, the Jacksons, they were on their, I think it was their, what was their album they had out at that time? But it was right at the same time when Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album came out. The Jacksons came to Louisville, Kentucky, Freedom Hall. Guess who opened up for them, Ron Bizzle? LTD featuring Jeffrey Osborne. It was one of the greatest concerts I ever, and I've been to some concerts. You know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they had some concerts coming through your town. Let me tell you, one of the best. Jeffrey Osborne tore the roof off. The Jacksons had to be as well as they were. And I mean, it was just an unbelievable concert. Michael Jackson jumped out of that ring of fire with that "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." I mean, it was just so good. But Jeffrey Osborne, one of my favorites, man. But I still look, man, you don't put my hairs on, my arm is raising up, man. It was a hell of a concert. And you talking about a time when a heat wave was out. I mean, you know, it was just so many, the Barcades, Maze. I mean, but this concert, man, I don't know who put these two groups together. Superstar groups. And around the same time, I saw Rick James and Prince on the same concert. Prince actually opened up for Rick James. Yeah. I grew up in that era, man. The best. Hard Man Alive said Destiny. Yeah, it was the Destiny tour. And they tore it up. They tore it up. Yeah, the Victory Tour. That's right. Sorry. I think Destiny was a little bit earlier. But yeah, it was the Victory Tour. Raw Hebrew Remnant. Thank you for that. He said, I saw them at Madison Square Garden. Oh, my God. Man. I tell you what, man, back in those days, I remember, okay, and I was in the 9th grade. I went to a concert. We were right. It's the first time I ever been on the front row. It was Maze, the Barcades, and Brick. So that would have been 1978. Man, I'm telling you. We could talk about that all day. Oh, yeah, Eric Terry. You know, you're talking about 1 million visitors, American visitors, only 2. But on that same note, I was reading because I'm a reader, man. Thailand is 10 times more dangerous than the Philippines. I know people always say, hey, would you rather have Thailand or the Philippines? Philippines, because Thailand is dangerous for foreigners. British especially, Americans especially, because one thing we don't talk about a lot on my channel is suicides of expats abroad. Per capita over in Thailand is second, man, to Mexico. Murder of foreigners in Thailand is number one per capita. 10 times the murder rate over in Mexico. Yeah, read it. This is from the State Department, guys. It's dangerous over there. So dangerous that the British authorities have warned their citizens about even going over there. 378 British killed, 130 something of them unexplained. Okay, if you want to go over there, go ahead. But, you want to talk about why I'm in the Philippines, because the Philippines is safe. Hey, Wesley Spinks, thanks for that super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. No, Alexander Money. He says Thailand is safer. I'm going by the numbers. Now, and I guess, by you living there, you probably think it's safe, but we're talking about numbers, man. And especially what shocked me was suicides. And I guess, it's a lot of reasons why you would think people commit suicide in places like Thailand and Philippines. They done tricked off all their money and whatever it is. But yeah, that Thailand is dangerous, man, over there. Frank Ellis said, yeah, man, that's when music was music. Absolutely, real music. People was playing instruments. They wasn't, man, fast forward to like the end of the 90s. And you will have the artists. I saw one of my favorite groups now, After 7 at the State Fair. And don't you know, now they were singing, but they didn't have a real band behind them. They had a DJ playing the music. It was like they were singing karaoke. Now, were they good? Absolutely. But it wasn't like back in the day when Maze and Frankie Beverly's up there playing his guitar, singing into the microphone. Yeah. Hey, thanks, LeVon White. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to this senior season for your son. I'm going to watch every game because I feel I know him now. Yeah. Raw Hebrew Remnant said Ashford and Simpson. Solid as a rock. Luis Pizarro says, I am more for 70s and 80s music. Me too. He said, I was a musician too. Edward Walter said, hi, Calvin. Great to see you. Hey, great to see you too, Edward. Wesley Spink says, hey, Calvin, what's the weather like there in January? 4 feet of snow and minus 35 here in northern Ontario, Canada. It's nice here. That's a good time to come here. The weather is going to be about 82 degrees. That's going to, the sun's always going to get you in the mid noon hour, but early in the morning, sometime. It never gets cold here in the Philippines. The average temperature is 82 degrees, everybody. Yeah, you're right. Let's see what his name. X Nihilo 415 said Thailand isn't any more dangerous in American City. Yeah, you're right about that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not comparing it to the American cities. I'm talking about where expats go. They've got a list of places, man, and they've got a list of, where you're more likely to die, what you're more likely to die of. Egypt, you're more likely to die on the road like you all here in the Philippines. But yeah, we're just talking about, we're comparing apples to apples. Of course, it's, hell, America, man, I'm going to tell you, that's one thing that they slide under the rug. They sweep under the rug around the world about how dangerous America is. It's super dangerous over there. Really. Hey, John Gomez, he said I was a musician in the 70s, Calvin. Man, maybe we ought to get a group together. I can sing just a few bars, as long as it's in a deep voice. Stephen K., thanks for the super chat. He said the vast majority of Filipinos feel absolutely safe in their communities. Surveys bear that data out. and real life. Boots on the ground, nitty-gritty info backs that data up. Absolutely. I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't tell you to come over. I would not be here if I didn't think I was safe. Y'all don't know me, man. I'm going to tell you something. And I'm glad he brought that up about my data backs that up. I suffer from anxiety, man. I'm a chicken when it comes to certain things. You know, you pop a balloon around me, man, I'm running for cover. And if I thought I was in trouble over here, man, I wouldn't be over here. If I thought I needed a weapon here, I wouldn't be here. But on that subject of anxiety, let me say this. Thank you, JX, for that super chat. I'll get to you first. He said, you're right about Thailand. When you start running out of money, you notice Thais really don't want you there, which causes depression. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I didn't know it until I started reading up on it. It's a lot of suicides over there. It's a lot of unexplained, unnatural deaths going on with expats in Thailand. It's number one per capita, especially when it comes to Americans, because not that many Americans visited Thailand in the year that they did the survey, 2017, versus how many of them died and committed suicide. So per capita, it was number one. But a guy had asked me, well, he didn't ask me, he made a comment about expats literally waste away and die in the Philippines because of inactivity. And I was like, that's interesting. But is it true? I told you I'm going to read. I started researching, man, and it's true. Now, it's not just for expats over here. It's people everywhere. Lack of physical activity, man. It causes a 30% mortality rate in men, 60% in women. It's the cause of all sorts of stuff. High blood pressure, colon cancer, you name it. Diabetes, kidney stones, man. If you don't get off your butt and do something, you're literally writing your death. You're literally committing suicide. It's what you're doing, and I don't care how old you are. It has nothing to do with your age. Lack of physical activity. Same with lack of mental stimulation. That flow of blood, oxygen, nutrients to your brain, it ceases. It slows down. It shrinks. And guess what? So does your brain. See? So when you get over here, man, or wherever you are right now, get busy, man. And when you engage in physical activity, it lowers the symptoms of anxiety, of depression. Guess what? I was given that the fact that my anxiety disappeared when I got here, I was giving the credit to the Filipinos in the Philippines, and they are partly responsible. But guess what? It's because I work out every day, guys. That's really why now. I didn't know it. I work out every single day, riding my bike, doing my routine. Yeah, get busy, man. I'm going to tell you, if you're not, and then once you start, don't stop. It takes about 90 days. Okay, that's why, because when you, after a long stretch of time, when you're not used to working out and you start working out, you're not going to be able to last long. Okay, but keep going. Don't stop. After about 90 days, you'll be ready, man. But that's what you got to do. You can literally waste away, because one of the other things of, and I'm going to read it straight from the Mayo Clinic, is this. It says, lack of exercise itself should be treated as a separate medical condition, according to Michael Joyner of the Mayo Clinic. Your bones and muscles literally waste away from inactivity, guys. Okay? I'm just telling you, man. And it causes mental health problems. Don't come over here, guys. Retired 2019, said, Calvin, I walk 6 miles a day. Bravo, brother. Do something. Raw Hebrew Women says, today was a really tough day for me, but praise Yah, I was still able to walk 3 miles today, man. That's a lot, brother. And do 52 chin-ups. It really does help. It does help, man. It's what keeps me young. I was just, I'm an athlete. Ever since I was little, it's in my genes. but I didn't really. I do it because I like to do it. I really didn't know the real intricate benefits of it, man. But yeah, it's benefit. Do something, guys. Don't waste away. Hey, Wells Family Journey. Thanks for that super sticker. But yeah, that guy was telling the truth because I looked at it. I was like, that's interesting. But is it true? Yes, it's true. And more so over here, because listen, guys, you don't come to the Philippines. Here's another Calvinism. I ought to have this copyrighted, but I won't. You don't come to the Philippines to retire. You come here to rejuvenate. You only think you're going to retire when you get here, man. We rejuvenate when we get over here. Hell, my engine stopped working over in America. They told me I couldn't have no more kids over there. I got over here, sunshine, beautiful women, tweaked my diet, got physically active. I'm on 12 cylinders now. 3 children later, I'm still rolling. Okay? I can do anything a 30-year-old can do, but be 30 again. Trust me, guys. Let's get active. Frank Ellis said, Derek Chauvin, is that how you pronounce his name? Guilty or innocent? This shouldn't even be up for debate, but we're talking about America. Absolutely, man. And I promise you, it's the number one reason I left there, man. I didn't want to be murdered either by the police, one of the thugs running around the city that has nothing to do. They buy these guns and they want to use them. Well, guess what? Go to a shooting range. That's what I would suggest to you. But no, they want to use it on us for the tiniest things. Or I was going to die of a heart attack or stroke. Take your choice. But I was going to die, so I left out of that. More likely, it was going to be thugs number 1, police 2, heart attack, stroke 3. But yeah, remember, Frank, one thing I do love about America, and I can appreciate it over here, because there's people who rot in jail over here before they ever make it to court. And then by the time they get to court, they've already served more time than their damn crime even would, suggest. There is due process in America, so let's let him in front of his jury of peers. But you got to realize, man, the police have big time respect from Americans over there. No matter what they do, they can't do any wrong. But yeah, Greg Griffith, he said, brick ain't going to hurt nobody to get on down. That's what they sung, man. Matter of fact, the bass player was from my hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. I forgot his name. But yeah. And all of those groups, by the way, could have been the headliner, the Barcades, Brick, or Maze back then. But it was sold out, standing room only. I was on the front row. We were standing up, though. And I had one of them big collar shirts. My collar came all the way out to here. It was my brother's shirt. And he got mad at me, too, because, see, men are not like women. Women, they share clothes and stuff like that. Men, we don't want you wearing our clothes. And boy, he got on my case for that. But I ain't care. I said, well, he was at work. I went in his closet and got some of his stuff and wore it to the concert. Hey, Monroe Smith said, hello, Calvin. I try to exercise every day by getting 10,000 or more. Let's see. Sorry, it hit up on me. That's what it does to me. Wait, okay. I find it. Hard man alive said, I like that phrase. Yeah, I came up with that when I was over at my other house. I said, well, hell, we only think we're coming here to retire. But actually, we get rejuvenated when we come here to the Philippines. Nilo 415 said, no shortage of expats with mental health issues go to Pattaya to drink themselves to death, leaving Las Vegas style. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll run up on this again. Wong Hung Lo says, hold that rooster underwater till the thrashing stops. Well, see, the rooster's king here. You come over and fool with these roosters, they're going to take you out Las Vegas style. Don't fool with these roosters over here, man. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Luis Pizarro says, I live in Arizona now for years. Yeah, whatever kind of prepare you for the heat over here. Kona Ranger said, jail's a 3-star hotel here in U.S. Compared to the Philippines. You're right. You're right. I wouldn't let my dog spend a night in jail here. So that lets you know that I did a video on that, like, you know, locked up in the Philippines. Don't come over here, man, because you're going to be locked up a long time. You might do something stupid and be locked up for 4 or 5 years before you finally go to jail. Then they let you out and say, oh, innocent. Well, hell, you know, I spent 4 or 5 years in jail. It's too late. Kenny D said, yeah, I'm going to shoot some hoops when it comes summertime and I can play because the court's all snowed up now. Oh, okay. Monroe Smith. Well, Gary, son of Larry, said, of course, you feel rejuvenated, Calvin. Philippines is not the Bronx. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is we think we're coming over here to retire, you know, to just kick back for the rest of our days, but that doesn't happen. They won't allow you to do that here, man. You're not going to do that here. John Gomez said, Calvin, is it easy to eat only vegetables in the Philippines? Yeah, they've got a lot, man. You go to the market, any market wherever you are, full of the fresh vegetables. Hey, Bob Stewart, he said, I'm checking in from Tacoma, Washington. I'm excited about your house, man. I am too, really, man, because it's really something I've always wanted to do in my 12 years. Once I decided I was going to come here, see, me and my wife, you know, see, that's one of the reasons why we didn't sort of get along, because she procrastinates so much. And that's a problem you're going to find over here. People procrastinate. They keep putting it up. Next thing you know, it's 10 years later, you don't have a brick in the ground over here. And that disappointed me. I mean, you have to realize my son's mother built a beautiful home up in the mountain province for my son and her family. You know, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm getting ready to do now. Adam L. says, Calvin, sent you an email to Sunshine Shoulders at Gmail. Is that your email address? No. My email is calroach1@gmail.com. CALROACH1@gmail.com. But that's a great idea. I'm going to actually change my name to that. Luis Pizarro says, I don't drink, I don't smoke, no drugs, no criminal records. I should be good in the Philippines. Yeah, just don't come over and get lazy, Luis. Brasilero Shelton said, hey, Cal, you think I can share a cigar with you? I don't smoke, but it's okay for you to smoke. Yeah, the professor said, Steve Arrington, I make you weak at the knees. See, these guys was talking subliminally back then. I know what he's talking about now, the professor. Ron Bizzle says the Silvers. I still listen to them. See, I'm going to tell you how naive I was about YouTube. Until recently, guys, I'm telling you, I didn't look at YouTube as social media. This is social media. Duh, but I didn't know it. I looked at it as entertainment, somewhere to watch movies, documentaries, listen to music. I never looked at it as a social media like it is. It's social media. It's no different than Facebook, really, to be honest with you. Jason B says, say, bro, I love that video where you said $1,000 is $1,000 in your pocket. It is, Jason, because of our spending habits, our thinking. It takes you a long time to change. And, you know, now you give that $1,000 to a Filipino and it's a lot of money, but in your pocket, it's the same $1,000 as it is in Louisville, Kentucky, because our spending habits haven't changed. It takes a long time to do that. But yeah, that's called the Philippines a money trap. And this is just stuff, man, out of my, my boots on the ground experience, man. I'm not, and none of my vlogs are earth-shattering information, but it's just common sense stuff to kind of wake some of us up, because, man, we get over here and we start sleepwalking. Yeah. Hard Man Alive said, listen to LTD. Absolutely. I go on YouTube and Love to the World. That album is one of my favorites of all time. And then I think LTD stands for Love, Togetherness, Devotion, if I'm not mistaken. See, music and the groups, they had meaning back then. It's not the stuff nowadays. It's garbage to me. I mean, imagine the Commodores. There's something behind that, and the music that they brought up. Wendell Richardson says, the group too, brother. I love the 70s back then. Family was first back then. Yeah, Sly and the Family Stone would be playing in our house back then. Absolutely. Man, I can remember them, I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Come on, how powerful is that music back then, man? Listen to what these guys are saying. But the music industry said, we got to shut these people up. They're making too much sense. Come on, Justin Bieber. Come on, Megan Trainor. Come on, Cardi B. We got to dumb these people down. These people in the 60s, 70s, 80s, man, they were making too much sense. Even the rap, man, they said, we got to shut these people up. They're teaching on this music. We don't want that. Yeah. Ron Business said, hot fun sometimes. It was powerful, man. When I listen to some of these songs, that's why I tell you the name of my channel is Sunshine Shoulders. Go back and listen to that song by John Denver, man. I don't care who was making music back then. It was all powerful. If you see, they don't even make soft rock anymore. Like people like John Denver. I guess they call it country music. I don't know, but it's really, really country now. But I mean, they had soft rock, they had hard rock, soul music back then. They don't have soul music anymore. Then it went to R&B. Then I don't know what it's called now. Yep, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, John Gomez says all they do is sample. Man, some of the best parts of going to a concert back in my day, well, they would always give the musicians a solo, man. That would be the concert right there. Earth, Wind, and Fire, and these were musicians. Yeah, Stylistic, still one of my favorite groups, State of Man. You're right. Hey, Patrick Guion, Mayan Buntag from the City of Peaceful Protest. The Brothers Johnson, Monroe Smith says. Hard Man, like I said, John Denver was great, man. This guy's iconic. How many? I guarantee you there's more musicians in the Hall of Fame from the 70s than any other year. Monroe Smith said Air Supply. Absolutely. Gary, son of Larry, says police in Thailand are useless. And you're right. I'm going to tell you something. There's a big article, a nice article. You can Google it, where now a lot of these cases, when foreigners die over there and they say unknown cause, they were labeling it unknown cause because they were not investigating these murders, guys. Now there's pressure from the outside to start investigating these murders. People are going to stop going over there, man. Gary, son of Larry, said, if traveling to Thailand, don't forget your parachute. Now, that's over my head. I'm sorry, Gary. You got to explain that to me. Fred Smith said, you do more than make out with Barry White. Absolutely. Barry White was a musical genius, man. Listen to his Love Unlimited Orchestra. Some of his best songs is instrumental. He was, arranging that stuff, man. Imagine how talented you have to be a Quincy Jones. Not only am I writing mainstream music, but I'm composing music for movies, television. I mean, he's so versatile. He's still with us. Hey, Nomad Patriot, thanks for that super chat. He said, shout out to the snapback. Well, you know, nobody snaps back better or faster than the Filipino. And I'm going to call her the Filipino. I read a great article in the Manila Times. They're trying to get rid of that word Filipina. It's no such thing. She's a Filipino. And they made their case to get rid of that Filipino. No other nation on earth is the man and the woman called something different. In America, we're just Americans. We're not Pinoys and Pinays. We're not Filipinos and Filipinas. And it was a lady. She said, we need to get rid of that word. And I agree with her. So they're Filipinos from now on in my book. John Gomez said, you going way back, brother. I'm way back. Hey, I'll be 58 next month. You have to go way back, John Gomez, if you want to listen to good music, man. You got to go way back. Smokey Robinson, you know, I mean, Lou Rawls. I mean, listen, we had generations. When one generation faded out, here comes another one. They don't do that anymore. We used to just sit back and wait on the next album, Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was a big cultural event in the hood. You got that new War album. You heard that new Earth, Wind, and Fire album. You went out to the record store, not online, and you physically bought the album. You know, man, those were the days, man. You know, but it's like that over in the Philippines. That's why I like it. It was a simpler times. Over here, it's a simple life. We complicate it. We bring all that complicated stuff over here. Well, but I mean, they're called, Patrick, they're called Spanish people, all right? You don't say Filipino, Filipina. You say Spanish people or the Spanish. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, if you dig deep in there, yeah, there's a senorita. Yeah, there's a woman in America and all that. But I'm talking about on the national level, they don't do it. They're known as the Spanish. You know. Yeah, but see, you got to realize, Maximus, it's from the same book of the Filipino. He says Latino, Latina. No, they're Latinos. When you talk about, you know, now unless you grew up in that sort of thing, okay, in that culture, but around the world, they're known as Latinos. Oh, yeah, Star Writer said Roberta Flack. Absolutely. Eddie Kendrick. Need I say Donnie Hathaway? I'm listening to him now on my Spotify. I mean, man, come on, guys. The Isley Brothers. They said that they've got yeah, but you got to realize these guys, they keep throwing this stuff at me. But it's from the Prodigy. He says Brasileiro and Brasileira. Yeah, but it's coming from that. The world knows them as Brazilians, sir. Okay? But just forget about that. It's really not that important. But they're trying to get rid of Filipino over here. In America, they don't have it. Let's see. OJ's, Fred Smith. I mean, you can go on and on. I'm sure the OJs are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Johnny Guitar Watson, Minnie Riperton. Of course, you know, Bobby Womack. Somebody said just cross 110th Street. But he's got so much more. I didn't know that he was Sam Cooke's right-hand man. And when Sam Cooke died, he married his wife, you know, and he caught a lot of flack for that. I didn't know that. Yeah, Teddy Pendergrass. Oh, man, what y'all talking about? See, we're talking real music now. When I was 16, my father took me in Cincinnati. I was staying with him for the summer. He took me to see Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy was the man. Now, I read his book, Truly Blessed. And if you want to read just one of the most outstanding autobiographies, read Truly Blessed, story of Teddy Pendergrass, right? It tells his whole life and through with Earl Melvin and Blue Notes all the way up to the accident. Don't you know, and a little bit after the accident, don't you realize that he was 30 years old during that accident? Now, see, I was young when that happened. He seemed like a real old person. Teddy was approaching 31 years old when he had that accident. Let that sink in, man. This man was at the top of his game. Let's see. Yeah, Withers. Bill Withers. Eugene Thomas said, yeah, Sunshine, I'm 54. The best music was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. R&B music and rap music in the 80s. Absolutely. I mean, you know this, Eugene, especially in the rap. I know it was a conspiracy to get rid of them. They were teaching. They were teaching history. They were, and they was like, no, they're going to wake up a whole generation and we're going to have trouble on our hands. This stuff now, this bumble rap is what I call it. I don't even call it mumble rap. I call it bumble rap. It's not worth it, man. Star Rider says Soul Train, way before its time. You know that, what's the guy dance? What's the American Bandstand? Now, see, when Don Cornelius came out with this idea for Soul Train, and this is only from reading, you're gonna find this out. You know, the American Bandstand, they sort of picked it up, but it was so homogenized that he said, no, we need something else. And it wasn't even, they took Don Cornelius' idea and tried to do it on CBS. Wherever American Bandstand was, ABC or whatever it was so homogenized that they decided, now we're going to do it our way, or we're not going to do it anyway. And Soul Train was born because they stood by their, and said, no, this is what Soul Train's going to be. Gary T said, how did I choose the contractors? Really word of mouth. Like, my girlfriend works a lot around City Hall, and those engineers over there, they know a lot, they have a reputation. But if not, all I got to do, if he doesn't work out, I'm going to talk to my landlord here, which was a great suggestion from one of my subscribers. I had simply forgot, really. This is who I was going to talk to. They own a lot of property. I'm pretty sure they can put us on to it. Because, see, over here, one thing you got to watch out for, guys. This is true. A lot of the business they do over here, they assume. Now, there's an engineer who's drawing up papers right now as we speak. He's assuming we're going to work with him. No, I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we're not. His girlfriend came over here yesterday and bought the plans for the fence. I'm like, the wall around the property. I'm like, listen, slow down. We still got to get the property changed over in our names. We're going to go ahead and get it surveyed again to make sure it is the right thing. But no, she's already assumed we're going to work with them. No. I don't work like that. See, that's something you got to be careful about over here. You cannot be afraid to say no over here. That's my next video. It's very, very important. Yes, men fail over here. See, as a way to try to fit into the culture and appease people over here. No, you got to stand your ground over here. No, period. And go on somewhere about your business. Don't worry about that. Hey, Stephen K., thanks for that super chat. He says, you ever hear East Flatbush Project, tried by 12, the quincentennial Black experience in urban America? I'd rather spend life in prison than die. That's the sad message of Black people in this country. That's 1993. Yeah. I never heard that. East Flatbush. I'm going to look that up. Project tried by 12. The quintessential black experience in urban America. I'd rather spend life in prison than die. Wow. Well, I know one thing, we all want a revolution, but nobody wants to die. See, that's the problem. People have to die in a revolution, and they usually do, but nobody wants to die. So it's sort of like, what the people say, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Sort of like that. We want a better America for everybody, but no one's really willing to die for it. But we're going to die anyway. They're going to kill us anyway, so why not go out fighting? No. They were on at the same time. He said Vincent Smith, American Bandstand was around in the 60s. No, they were around in the 70s too. Have you ever heard of Neil Sedaka? Have you ever heard of the DeBarge, L. DeBarge and the DeBarge family? Yeah, they were on. Go on YouTube. They're on the American Bandstand. No, the American Bandstand was around a long time, not just the 60s. You better look that up. Let's see. Ronald Bowden said, "Old girl, I'd be in trouble if you left me now. I don't know how to look for love. I just don't know how." Yeah, great music. I mean, a letter to myself. Go back and listen to that and what he's talking about. It's deep, man. These kids today, they're not deep thinkers. It's just a beat, and then they're going to say that loop over and over and over. Baby, baby, baby. How many times does Justin Bieber say baby on that song? It's enough to drive you crazy. It's worse than that Baby Shark. It's the same thing, but he's saying baby instead of Baby Shark. But back then it was deep. Go back. I write a letter to myself. A month ago today, I was happy as a lark. Main ingredient. See, y'all gonna have me after this is over with. I do it anyway. Cuba Gooding Jr. I like main ingredient even before he joined the group. I mean, Cuba Gooding Sr. Rest in peace. Four Stop Tops, Spinners, Marvin Gaye. You can go on and on because, listen, we ran the music industry, ladies and gentlemen. Now you cannot count 5 black groups on your hand that's on the top of the charts. You can't do it. They wrote us out of the script. Okay? If somebody's going to sing R&B today, it's not going to be a black person. Trust me. Have you ever heard of Sam Smith? Okay. I'm just telling you the truth, man. This ain't about race. This is about reality. They wrote us out of the business. We're no longer in the music business anymore, unless you're Puffy Combs, you're somebody behind the music. Oh, by the way, that song by Justin Bieber, black people wrote it, but they can't write it for a black person. They have to write it for him because there's no black people around to sing that song. What's that? Yummy, Yummy or something, that new hit song. His latest real big hit that he had. Yummy, Yummy or something. Yeah, Aretha Franklin. Yeah, Maxima says American Bandstand was in one form or another since 1952, but Dick Clark began hosting it 56 to 89. Absolutely. They used to run together. It was like we watched Soul Train, but I watched them both because I didn't have no choice. In Louisville, Kentucky, growing up in the 60s and the all of the 70s, really, WLOU, which was the soul station, in the wintertime, it went off air at 5:30. So we couldn't listen to soul music anymore. We had to go and listen to wacky WAKY, WKLO with the Carpenters, Rod Stewart, George Harrison, because by this time the Beatles had broken up, Paul McCartney, all of that. Three Dog Night, All of them groups, that's how I learned about them. Because when we were little, we had no choice. And we love music in our house. Hey, so school music lovers, thanks for that super chat. He said some folk are reintroducing youngsters to older music on YouTube. Funny how they react. Yeah, it is. But that back then there was something called rhythm. There was something called melody. That a lot of these songs had. Some of the greatest hooks that ever were written in the 70s, man, in the 80s. Cars. I mean, just so many, you know. What was the lady's name? Sweet dreams are made of this. Who was that? What's the name? So many. When I was in the Navy, oh, man. Ronald Isley and the Isley brothers, man. Yeah, they've been around since the 50s. Well, hell, he's 70-something. The Professor says Tears by Force MDs. When I moved to Cincinnati in the early 80s, I moved there in 1985, January 85. Somewhere around 86 was when the Force MDs, 86, 87 came out. My favorite group, man. They were super good. Marley Zoldick says, thanks for that super chat. Is it possible to visit with a juvenile misdemeanor? Got one at age 15, no others ever since. Absolutely. If you can get a passport, you can come here. As long as you're not on the no-fly list or you're not on the blacklist over here. I've got a friend who spent 19 years in the prison. 19 straight years in the prison. He got out, got his passport. Now he's traveling the world. You know, you can do it. Ronald Bowden says, I like all the old music. I can't get into the new music. I can't either, and it's sorry to say. It's a few songs that I can get into, excuse me. Like, what's the song, the little girl, it was a summertime hit. I can't think of it. Something about a boo or not too long ago. This little light-skinned girl, she's from Britain, but she lives in America now. I'll give it to my subconscious man. Let him come back with it. O'Neill Pettigrew says, young people have not seen a live band. You're right. The Eurythmics. Thank you, Curtis Fabian. And that woman could sing. What's the song? I've been around the world. And I can't find my baby. She was good. Luther. And these people are, most of the, and see, there's nobody, a lot of these guys are dying off. Michael Jackson, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, Gerald Levert. They're dying and nobody's taking their place. There's a young guy over here. His name is Garrett Bolden Jr. Look him up on YouTube, guys. He's half black, half Filipino. If he would go, but he's Filipino through and through. He's an American citizen now because his father, stepped forward and, got him his citizenship. But he grew up, his dream is to become a Filipino star. But if this young boy, he's a man now, about 25 or something like that, 26. If he moved to America, he'd be a superstar because he sings like Peabo Bryson. He sings like those type of guys, man. He's bad. Garrett Bolden Jr. Thank me later. He's a bad boy, but he wants to make it here. And I don't blame him. It's where he's from, but he went there, it'd be lights out. Trust me. Bob Marley, absolutely. They love, and plus, guys, they love reggae over here in the Philippines. That's something else. And you'll see a lot of Filipinos over here. They have dreads over here. And they live that life. You go to Alona Beach in Panglao. Once you get on the beach, one of the first vendors you see is run by some Filipinos who's living that dread life. You know, the whole 9 yards. One of the first vendors you see. Hey, thanks, Stephen K. For that super chat, he says, have you ever listened to Morrissette Amman recreate songs? Yeah, she's a vocal genius. Absolutely. She's very, very good. They used to have a show on television before they shut down ABS-CBN. It was called ASA. Every Sunday would come on. She was on there. One time they sung I'm Not Your Superwoman, but it was like they should have just let her sing the whole song. It's like 3 Filipinas, man. And once her part was over with, I cut it off. I'm like, why didn't they just let her sing it? I mean, she, you know, nobody revives a song the way that they do over here. See, I don't know if they get permission to do it or if it's like a lot of the copyright stuff that they get away with over here. I don't know if it's in the music industry too, but they do a lot of stuff. Like I told you, they got a Big Mac over here. They got a Big Mac hamburger over here, but it's M-A-K. Instead of Victoria's Secrets, they got Victoria's Closet over here. Ladies' lingerie over here. Yeah, see. But I don't know if they do that with music or not, because at first, when I used to be over here in the Philippines, there's some songs, even now, that you can't access on YouTube because of they don't have the rights. What's that lady's name that had a stroke? This Time I'll Be Sweeter. What's her name? She's very popular over here. Angela. What's her name? Is it Angela? This time I'll be sweeter. You know, when I first came over, all you could find on YouTube was the revive version. You see Filipinos reviving it. Now you can get the original version. But it's a lot of songs like that. If you look up a lot of Atlantic Star music over here, some of it's not available. Hey guys, let's hit the like button. Yeah, it's a lot of music over here that's not available. Billy says, for those who can't get over to the field, would you think an LDR is a good relationship? Man, I was thinking about that today, Billy. It's funny that you even bring that up. It's the longest of long distance relationships. I wouldn't do it, man, because as American men, as Western men, we have a tendency of falling in love online. And there's nothing worse than loving somebody and wanting them, craving them really, and you can't get to them. That's torture, man. Why would you want to torture yourself? And you don't have to do it. Just wait till it opens up. The same woman's going to be there waiting. She's going to be online. Stephen K. says, listen to her sing Moon River and mash up with Yusahe. She's the most amazing singer I ever heard. A lot of the singers over here would be stars in America. But they want to make it over here, you know, and I don't blame them. They're from here, you know. They grew up idolizing Filipino stars. And, you know, they want to be a celebrity here. But a lot of them, there's a little Marcelino something. He can sing like a girl and a boy, right? If I was his manager, guess whose music he would be singing over here and in America? He'd be reviving all of the stylistic music. He would sound just like Russell Tompkins Jr. if he were to start singing that music. But they want to sing Champagne and what's a lot of the other songs? Not Champagne. Chandelier. You know, a lot of the great men singers over here, they like to sing women's songs for some reason over here. There's a little Filipino named Darren something. I don't know his name. He was originally from Canada. His parents are Filipino. He was born in Canada. Man, this little boy can sing, but he wants to sing women's songs. I don't get it. Angela Bofield, yeah. Timothy Bright. At first, you couldn't find a lot of her music over here because, I mean, it was copyrighted to death over here. But now I guess they got that straightened out. Now you can. I love Angela Bofield. Lynn San Diego 102 said, Christina Aguilera is talented. Absolutely. What was she, 90s? Because don't forget about the 90s was big too. But somewhere around in the 2000s, they wrote the real singers out of music. John Williams says, listen to MYPM redo a lot of R&B. And I think that stands for Make Your Filipino Mother Proud or something. But yeah, they're good. But I tell you who else is good over here. And she's got a album. I want you, and this is, now, remember I always give you books to read. Here's an album to listen to from a Filipino singer. It's called Heaven. Is the name of the album. What's the name of that lady, hon? That sings that song Heaven. I mean, that sings that's got that song Jealous. What's her name? Yeah, Nina. Nina, guys, thank me later. This album came out in 2002. I just heard it in like 2016 or something. She should redo the album and put it back out. It sold like 10 million copies over here. It's a bad album. It's an R&B album. Her name is Nina. The name of the album is Heaven. Every song. You don't even have to skip any song. It's the best R&B album by a Filipino that I've ever heard. I mean, it's a bad, she's bad. And whoever wrote the songs, she's got good music. And she can sing. She redid that song by Journey. What's that song by Journey that's really popular here? And what's that song by Journey that's real popular here, honey? That she sung, that she remade. Not Faithfully. That Nina redid. Anyway, Red Sif Lloyd said, of course I knew it was Angie Bofield. That's funny. I didn't. But yeah, go there. Nina, and the album is Heaven. Thank me later. She's good, man. I'm telling you, she's good. Oh, yeah. Stan Hasselbeck said, female torch singers who were a staple of my youth have disappeared. Not sure why. I'm going to tell you who's really, really big and who's big over here now. That Dionne Warwick. She was like the Whitney Houston of her day, I guess. But there's so many back there in the day. Shaka Khan is big over here. See, when you hear these singers over here try to revive these songs, you'll be like, oh, man, they sound good until you hear the original. It's like going on YouTube and watching these guys try to imitate Michael Jackson dancing, and you'll say, man, he's good, until you look at Michael Jackson. Then you'll be like, oh, man, come on. What are you doing? But that's how it is. But there's another group over here that I really, really like. I can't think. But they broke up. It was a woman and a man that both sung in the group. Oh, man, I can't think of, damn it. My man just ain't working today. But the Filipinos, they got great musicians over here, man. You know, they got great music over here, man. Don't discount it. I promise you. Yeah, Anita Baker, man. Come on, Wendell Richardson. Absolutely. Journey, don't stop believing. No, not that song, Red Silk, but that's another one. And if you haven't already, you know, the Filipino singer that's now the lead singer of Journey, go on Netflix. There's a documentary. It's called Don't Stop Believing. And it tells about how they discovered him. This guy sounds just like the lead singer for Journey. It's a great, great documentary, man. They were looking for a lead singer. I mean, the guy said he looked through thousands of YouTube videos. He was getting ready to go to bed, and a friend sent him the tape of this guy, who's the lead singer now. Sounds just like the guy from Journey. The rest is history. If he literally revived Journey's career by himself. That's how good he is. And they followed them on tour, and he blew everybody away everywhere they went on tour in America. It's a great, great documentary, guys. Look at that. Brett Thomas, where are you from? I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. City of the Big Three, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Muhammad Ali, and me. No, I got that from have you ever heard that song Star in the Ghetto? You know, by Ben, I forgot who really made that song popular, but the original writer, Philip Mitchell, he's from Louisville, Kentucky. He wrote that song. He's still singing now. He's good. And he sung that song, I'm a Star in the Ghetto. You know, I'm a star in the ghetto. If I never make Broadway, sugar, that'll be okay. Well, he breaks it down. He said, I'm from the city of the Big Three, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Ali, and me. Talking about him. I just stole that from him. But yeah, Renee and Angela Winbush, Wendell Richardson. While I'm on that, before I acknowledge Ryan Bizzle's super chat, they've got a little young guy they were working with in the early 90s. I think of his name. Thanks, Ryan Bizzle. For that super chat, he said, Pastor Mike, Soul Train with DJ Cassidy. Those shows are wonderful. Absolutely. Thanks for that super chat, Lamont Smith. He said, salute Calvin and the boots on the ground soldiers. Absolutely. He had a song out, Joy, but he never made another album. Ryan Isley and Angela Winbush, when they were married, they discovered this little dude. And I think he made his album in New York City. I mean, this little guy is bad. At the time, he was about 18 or something. I'll think of it. I'll give it to my subconscious mind. Wesley Spink said, yep, seen it, Calvin. Great documentary, well worth the watch. It's one of the best I've seen on Netflix. It's a great, because I didn't know how they discovered him. But this guy's bad. Yeah, Arnell Pineda was recruited by the band from his YouTube videos. Absolutely, Ram Jam Rock. That's what the documentary is about. Bob Stewart says 214 watching with only 176 likes. Let's hit the like button, guys. Absolutely. Lenny Williams, Wendell Richardson, man. See, my man, I'm 57, because we could sit here all day, because that's why you bear witness, Wendell Richardson, to what I'm saying. You know, that song, remember that song, the night the music died? Well, I can say that about music in my community. The music died. Where did it go? Because the minute one group got old, it was somebody waiting in the shadows to take their place over and over and over throughout my childhood. Now all of a sudden, music disappeared, and that was it. Kona Ranger said 57, young. Man, because I was rejuvenated over here, Kona. KC and the Sunshine Band. Monroe Smith. Okay, right before my brother died, rest in peace, Kim Roach. Every derby pre-pandemic, they would have a free concert down on the main line on the riverfront in Louisville. Well, this particular derby, it was, listen to this, guys, Midnight Star and KC and the Sunshine Band. And this is 2000 something. My brother died in 2013. So this had to have been 2010 or 2009. They jam, man. I'm talking about, this is live music, live instruments. They blew it up, guys. American Pie, yeah, by Don McLean. You know, the music died, man. This is what happened to me. And the music I like, it died. It doesn't exist no more. There's no more soul music, R&B genre. I don't know what it's not as big as it was. It was so big that Jet, remember Jet magazine? would have the soul top 25. You try to come up with a soul top 25, you're not going to get past the soul top 2 nowadays. That's how big the music was in my day. Jet Magazine would have a top 25 soul music only. Now, you get past the soul top 2, that's it. Maybe 1. Yeah. Ed from Queens said no more any music. You're right, man. I mean, imagine that, guys. Not faithfully, James Lyons. It's another one, and I'll get it. The Red Silver Lord said the night Chicago died. That was another song, but I love that song. Remember that Billy, Don't Be a Hero, Don't Be a Fool with Your Life. All that type of music I learned growing up because the soul station turned off at 5:30. Imagine 5:30. Star Writer said, man, you old, but I'm 2 years older. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Ed from Queens said, how about disco? I love it. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. All of that was in the 70s. You know, I love disco. Remember, man, look. Remember they should say white men can't dance and all that. I want to remind you something. Saturday Night Fever. Go on there right now. They've got a clip of John Travolta, man. He's getting down as good as any. Man, I'm going to tell you. He's rocking to that. I think one of BJ songs, You Should Be Dancing. It's on YouTube now, man. From the 70s, like 77 or something. Man, he's cooking, man. I got to give it to him. Even to now, it gives me chills when I look at it. John Travolta was cooking on that clip. Oh, yeah. You Dirty Puppy said a week ago a car was blasting Play a Funky Music Boy by Wild Cherry. One of my favorite songs, man. That was like 1976. I tried to get one of my Pinoy friends over here. He's a musician to revive that song instead of play that funky music, white boy, play that funky music, Pinoy. Yeah. We may redo it. It's an idea, you dirty puppy. I promise you I came up with it. And I told him, I said, man, you need to revive that. Instead of saying play that funky music, white boy, they play that funky music, Pinoy, because they've got some funk groups over here. Yeah, Baby Come Back by Player. Bread. Oh, man. Come on, Mel A. Now you really got one of the, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the songs that are getting revived over here are because they've got these teleseries. And they named the teleseries after the song, and then the artist will revive the song. What's one of Bread's real famous songs? It's real famous over here now. You Dirty Puppy. Yeah, I like it too, man. It's a good idea if they'll do it. Play that funky music, Pinoy. Yeah, the Average White Band. Boz Scaggs. Did you know that What You Won't Do for Love, you know, he's a white man singing that. I didn't know that. How old were you when you found that out? That what's the guy that sings that? What you won't do, you know, do for love. He's white. I just found that out, man, maybe since I've been back here in the Philippines in 2018, man. This guy's white, man, that sings that song. I didn't know it. Bobby Caldwell. Yeah. England Davis. Funky Town. Brian Nichols said bread soft as heck. No, man, that music back then. Yeah, Make It With You, Monroe Smith. That song is so big now because they got a teleseries over here, and then one of the Filipino guys remade it. But man, you go back and listen to that original. Yeah, Make It With You, Danny DeBose by Bread. I love that song. Yeah, Cal. He said most of the karaoke machines have old music, old songs on them. And if you think, like if this is trip you out when you go to the province, they can't speak a bit of English. But you give them that microphone and they can sing those songs and pronounce English perfectly. And their voices change. Their whole persona changes. Brad has got a whole bunch of songs, I love Elton John myself. Montrez Montgomery, thanks for that super chat. He said, how about Hall and Oates? Absolutely. Michael McDonald, Phil Collins. Yeah, them white boys can sing. Absolutely. See, that's what I'm saying. But where are they now? They just got rid of all the good music. It's all about the money now. So the less groups you got, and the more, you're promoting them and they're bringing out all these hits, the more money for them and the record company. Yeah, I love Ronald Bowden said, I love Sir Elton too. I mean, Elton John, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, all of that. When I was growing up, man, I grew up on Elton John's music. It died, man. The good music died. Karen Carpenter, man. Come on, guys. But I tell you what, and that's what it's called, Blue Eyed Soul. But there's a group, something in the Kings. What's the lady that just recently died? The black lady that was out front, and the something Kings. I like their music though. They were real. That was a real band. The black lady just died. Recently died of cancer. They got a Netflix documentary on her. But yeah, of course, Stevie Wonder. Let's see. Joe Cocker, Moody Blues Band, all of that. David Wayne said Barakai was great for this reason only. Sitting at the bar, drinking at the beach, and listening to the music while singing alone. Fantastic. I tell you what, if you ever whenever this opens up, this is a tip, boots on the ground tip, and you're in Panglao Bahal and you're on Alona Beach, go down to the Henan Resort. At night, they got a man and a woman, Filipinos. The best I've ever heard in the Philippines, man. I'm talking about they should be on somebody's record label over in America. And I say America because they think that if you don't make it in America, you haven't made it. But they don't realize there's so many stars around the world that we've never heard of that are not from America. Go over in India if you think I'm playing. Retired 2019, thanks for the super chat. He said Elton John was the first white artist to perform on Soul Train. He was blue-eyed soul before there was ever the term blue-eyed soul. I hate to tell you, but he was. Tina Marie. I don't know what You Dirty Puppy said. It's Benny and the Jets about meth. I think it's something, now when you think about it, Benny's, in Jets, it probably was. What You Won't Do for Love, the greatest blue-eyed soul record ever, A.C. King said. I'm telling you, man, it's a powerful song. I just now realized it was seen, But I tell you another song, Ring My Bell. Remember that song? You Can Ring My Bell. It's big over here, man. You were here in the grocery store. You were here on the bus. And the people know that song. I was 16 when it came out. John Williams says America's congested with great singers. Yeah, but they're not getting they're not promoting but a handful. Casey and the Sunshine Band was one of my favorites, man. Rag Jam Rock. I'm gonna tell you. Meatloaf, yeah. Anita Ward, that's it. Monroe Smith. Cool in the Game. But there was two Cool in the Games. Hey, what's going on? You going to work today? No, tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe 21.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow, yeah. That's where I live. That's my favorite security guard at McDonald's. Yeah, now the Kool in the Gang before James Taylor came, they were like a jazz, like a urban jazz. You know, they were funk really like. And then once he came, he changed the whole group. You know, Cherish the Love and all that. Led Zeppelin. What about Uriah Heep? What about what's them two brothers? They were white albinos. Um, um, the Edgar Winter group. See, I had a brother, my brother that I was talking about, went to the concert together. He died. The type of music he listened to, because he was off on some drugs back then, LSD and all that, but he listened to the Edgar Winter group. The Brecker Brothers. They was another white group back in them days. Yeah, Stairway to Heaven, ZZ Top, The Doors. See, that was music. Mixtech says, check out Mayor Hawthorne on YouTube. I really think you would like him. The Doobie Brothers, of course, with Michael McDonald. I saw him in, let's see, it had to be like 1995 at one of those free concerts. It was Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael McDonald, and I believe it was Shaka Khan. Oh, man, Michael McDonald, man. He's still bad to this day. Yeah, James Lyons says the Doobie Brothers were cold. Yeah, What a Fool Believes. Yeah. He said Led Zeppelin's great, but a lot of their songs were taken from early black R&B. Well, a lot of those groups back then, Rolling Stones, they were influenced by Little Richard and a lot of those early. They give a lot of their credit to those, you know, Chuck Berry and all those guys. Chicago. See, the same thing happened to Journey that happened to Chicago, but before. Their lead singer came, and I didn't even, man, it was years before I even knew that he was a new lead singer. I thought it was always the same guy. Yeah. Frankie Valli. Mel A, I'm glad you bring up Whitney Houston now. When Whitney Houston, go back and listen to her first album when she became a superstar. See, the first song that she came out was wrote by Kashif, and it was what was that song? You Give Good Love. I mean, you talking about everybody knew she was going to be a big star. That was her first hit, and then Saving All My Love for You was written by David. What's the white guy that wrote a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire songs? David Foster. Yeah, he wrote that. Did you know that David Foster wrote the song by Earth, Wind and Fire? What's the song by Earth, Wind and Fire? It's a slow song. One of their all-time hits. David Foster wrote it. And I learned that from reading. There's another good book you can read if you want to read. If you like to read, it's the autobiography of Maurice White. Please read that. This guy was deep. Roger Troutman, The Monkees, Steppenwolf. Kashif. Yeah, Kashif was bad. He passed away. You know, Kashif was so talented. Not only that, but he wrote a book on royalties. He wrote a book on the music industry that became an all-time bestseller and has helped industry artists from the time he wrote it all the way into now. It's like an icon in the music industry right now. Patti LaBelle. Steve Miller, see, when I was growing up. Tower of Power. Star Writer, Shining Star. But no, it's After the Love Is Gone. See? If I just sit here and let my subconscious mind, After the Love Is Gone, David Foster wrote that song. Yeah, Roy Jones, Whitney Houston took Dolly Parton and made a hit. Yeah, made it an all-time hit. It was a hit when Dolly sung it, but it became like another world hit when Whitney Houston sung it. Daniel John says, Calvin, what kind of part-time jobs can a foreigner perform in the Philippines? Well, other than call center, Probably none. You know, and something else why you said that, it reminded me of something. Remember how we're always calling the Philippines a developing country or a third world country? It's really not. Now, boots on the ground, it looks like it has all the characteristics, but the economy is more developed than a third world economy. So the Philippines is not, they're not no longer considered a developing country. It's what's called an NIC, a newly industrializing country. And it's going to shock you. It's in the same level with Brazil, People's Republic of China, India, South Africa, Turkey, Malaysia. Yeah, the Philippine economy, remember the Philippines isn't poor. The people are poor, but not the country. It's not a developing country. An NIC is somewhere in between a developing and a developed country. But they're more advanced. The economy is more advanced than developing countries. Just think a third world country. Philippines, their economy is above that. Remember I told you a long time ago that if you go on the list of the poorest countries in the world, the Philippines is way down there. It's like 38th or something. It's way from the top. So, they're not a developing country, even though it looks like it. And there's stifling, abject poverty over here. The economy now is what I'm talking about. It's not, it's advanced. They've got an advanced economy over here. Hey, Victor Soto Orocho. Hello from Puerto Rico. Wow. I always wanted to move to Puerto Rico, and, if I ever move back to the States, that's where I'm going. I'm either going to Puerto Rico, Hawaii, or Alaska. I'm not going back to the Continental. I can say that. MRC Hip Hop Rap Promo said, what happened to Phil Collins? What did happen to Phil Collins? Yeah, Victor, I will, man. Once all this opens back up, man, if I left now, I'd never get in. I'd never get back in. James B said, now Rogers from Chic. Absolutely. Wrote many hits for Duran Duran, David Bowie, Madonna, NXS, Sister Sledge, etc. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to tell you somebody else who wrote a lot of hits. Reggie Calloway from Midnight Star back in them days. Yeah. See, I grew up at a time when Cher was just now starting. Back in like 70, 71, 69, when the Sonny and Cher show, when Cher was, I'm talking about, if she's 70-something years old, she looks good. Back then, there was nobody around that could touch Cher. Cher was beautiful then, man. I'm talking about 50 years ago. Really. Stan Hasselbeck said, cool conversation on music. Music helps bring people together more than anything I know. Absolutely, Stan. And see, that's why, I don't talk a lot of religion, politics, or sports on my channel. We cannot agree on that. But I do always talk about gravity, the law of gravity, because nobody's going to argue with me about that. If I throw this up in the air, what's going to happen? Nobody's going to argue with me that it's going to come back down, even though gravity is not an absolute truth. I could throw this up and it land on the roof. But y'all know what I'm saying. If I talk about gravity, nobody's going to argue with me. We agree on that. That's all I want to talk about on my channel. Things we agree about, basically. Yeah, Barry Manilow, sorry, the professor. How could I forget him? Nat King Cole, Pierre. John Williams said he played in Century City Mall, Monkey Bar in Manila with some locals. They'll let you come up a lot of times. If you're at these resorts, especially, and the whatever groups up there, if you want to come up there and sing, they'll let you. Greg Allman, the Allman Brothers. What's going on, Carlton Banks? Thanks for that super chat. He said, heard Atlantic Star Masterpiece, 7-Eleven, Philippines. Yeah, that's a great song, man. They love Atlantic Star over here. They love Surface over here. Remember Surface? Shower Me with Love. See, Filipinos are, romantics over here, really. Wesley Spinks said music is a universal language. It is, and we need more of that to bring us together. But that's why I say it was a conspiracy to get rid of the music, man. Because music brings people together. Jim Croce, you dirty puppy. Come on, man. Cat Steven. I love Jim Croce. Him and his guitar player, I can't think of his name. But I was looking at something on a documentary on YouTube about them. And don't you know the night that they died, they were coming from a concert. This is how these artists were back then. This is how down to earth Jim Croce was. Jim Croce, when he booked a concert with this college, on his college campus, I think somewhere in Iowa or one of those places, he hadn't made it yet. But, because of some things, he was unable to, to meet his obligation. Well, once he started making them songs and he shot to superstardom, practically, we think it was overnight, but it really took years. Don't you know he went back and that's where he was coming from when he died. He went back to fulfill his obligation to this little 1,000-seat Coliseum. By this time, all his hits was out, Operator and all of them. He was a international superstar, but that's the type of guy he was. He went back. He wasn't going to make any money. He lost money on that. Excuse me. And he lost his life. But those are real people back then. Yeah, Allman Brothers, yeah. But hey, guys, it's getting late. It's I got to get off of here, man. Thanks everybody for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up. We did reach 200. Your kindness, your generosity, your support on my channel. It's been just amazing, man. I never take it for granted. This is the highlight of my day, really. These lives, and I want to thank Jason Kincaid. He's probably not on here today, but suggesting that. He said, Calvin, he said, your viewers, they relate to you. He said, you need to do more than one live a week, because that's all I was doing. He said, do a little bit more so we can get to know you and hang out with you. And I did that, and I'm glad, because I really enjoy it, man. It's like I really get to know you guys. Roy Jones said, Captain Tennille, absolutely, man. Those were the days. Need I say the Bee Gees? I mentioned them, but I didn't talk about them. Now, you're talking about Blue-Eyed Soul before there was ever Blue-Eyed Soul. So if you're in America, it's late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, grill runs, weed runs, if you're just getting off work on second shift, or you're on your lunch break and you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink. In the Philippines, it's what? 11:18 a.m. in the morning. We have the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help. There's no excuse not to intentionally go out and find somebody to help here. Today, my assignment is we found 2 families. We're going to take them each 25 kilo sack of rice. And I always put this on my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page, not to brag or boast, but because that's just how they do it over in the Philippines. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Rag Jam Rock. I appreciate you, brother. I love y'all back, man.